Hey, bonnet heads! Listen, before we start our show today, just a quick word. First, unbeknownst to us, we had some mic issues while recording this episode you're about to hear. So there may be a couple of pops in the sound every now and then. We cleaned it up as much as we can, but please bear with us. I'm so sorry if it's annoying. It won't happen again. But more importantly, the news around the country and around the world has been incredibly heavy. We know that. And we know that in times like these, it can feel difficult to laugh or to feel joy. But we know that now more than ever, we all need a safe space to land. We're going to keep things light today and focus on the stories that make us smile, because we believe that sharing a happy moment is its own kind of medicine. Our hearts are with the people of Minneapolis and all around the world. So grab a warm drink, settle in, and let's spend some time on the prairie.
If you're listening right now to the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast, we know something about you.
We know that you're obsessed with Little House on the Prairie.
For more than half a century, Little House on the Prairie, the series and the books have been bright lights for people all over the world who seek out goodness, decency, and human connection.
Here on the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast, we celebrate everything that made Little House so special.
The stories, the characters, the actors, and the messages that have made Little House iconic family television.
And a perfect counterpoint to a world that feels like it's going off the rails every day.
Where is Michael Landon when we need him most? I'm your host, Pamela Bob.
And I'm your prairie bitch, Allison Arngrim.
And I'm Dean Butler.
Our hashtag imaginary boyfriend. Join us for our loving, quirky, and often irreverent conversations about the finest family drama in the history of television.
And the imperfect people who made it that way.
In this third season, we are extremely grateful for the support of VisitSeeMeValley.com for their continuing sponsorship of Little House on the Prairie and the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast. All right, welcome, bonnet heads. How are you? I'm Pamela Bob, your host, creator and star of Living on a Prairie, and superfan. I am here indeed with the ever-loving prairie bitch, Allison Arngrim, and our hashtag imaginary boyfriend, Dean Butler. Hi, guys.
Hey.
How's it going?
I think the biggest question on my mind right now, Pamela, is how's the weather?
God.
How's that going? How's that going?
Well, as you know, I screenshotted the weather report for the next week and texted it to you guys and said, "Send me an LA emergency meeting in person, right, guys? Get me out of here."
Now you sent a little clip.
It's wild.
You also sent a little clip yesterday. Was this your little pupper running around in the park rolling in the snow?
She's in heaven.
Very cute.
She loves the snow. She is a snow baby for sure. So she is in heaven. But this morning we went out and, she sort of ran and then immediately sunk in it. And the snow was well over her head. I mean, it just...
She still is loving it, I'm sure.
It's a lot of snow.
Yeah,
she's absolutely loving it.
Yeah. So Allison and I went here this morning. I think it's 58 degrees this morning.
Don't say what the degree is.
No, I just said it was 58. 58 degrees.
Oh, early in the morning.
Allison texted me the 10-day weather forecast, and then she texted me the 10-day LA forecast, which is all like 75 degrees. Responded with, "That
60,
was so Nelly of you."
61, coming up to 61 about now, but it should be a high of 70, 71 today. Sunshine.
So, and to take your mind off the weather, Pamela, I'm share this cool cup that we received last week from Rachel Haas. Our 25th anniversary was last week. So we've got cups, we've got plates. I mean, really sweet stuff that has come to us as a result of our 25th anniversary.
How long did you guys date before you got married?
5 years. And I was coming out of my first trial marriage, which was challenging, and so I was very slow to step in the second time, but the day I stepped in, the day I said I do, I was all in. So it's like, yeah.
I gotta get you some good silver. 25 is silver. It's silver.
Well, there's a lot of silver on this cup. It's like, yeah.
Wow.
So it's not silver, but it's silver. Yeah. Anyway, that was good. The weather's been nice here. I'm working on buttoning up a project separate and apart from Little House. We are still downloading and digressing or buttoning up elements of the December event. And of course, working on Living the Prairie Way, which is going to be coming out on Mother's Day or around Mother's Day in 2027. So, lots going on here.
Okay, great. That's good. You bought some more time on that one.
Yes. No, that was really helpful.
So your head isn't going to explode. Yes, totally.
Oh my God. It's sort of exploding, but it won't burst. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. You'll save it. It won't fall off. I just wanted to say before we get onto the show, I've been seeing some extraordinary theater in New York the past month or so, and I saw the revival of Ragtime at Lincoln Center this week.
Wow.
And it is the quintessential, in my opinion, it is the great American musical. And if you are in New York,
Really?
you must see it, especially in these times that we're living in. It still pertains. Ragtime takes place in 1906 in New York, and it's the story of white Anglos, African Americans, and immigrants at that time, and how they all converge. And my God, it's just glorious. And Allison, I think it's closing in June, so Allison, when you come in, I hope you're coming in. Yeah, we're gonna go.
In May.
Yeah, I'm gonna go again.
I'll be in New York in May.
I'm gonna go again. It's incredible. Listen to the soundtrack. It's incredible.
Wow.
That's all.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yes, but shall we?
Yeah, I think we should. Let's step into this.
Right, on this episode, this episode works her way into the heart of a hard-hearted man. Ooh, what are we talking about? We'll let you know in a moment. But first, from Media and Go and Prairie Partners, and visit SeaMeValley.com and friends. This is the Little House on the Prairie 50th Anniversary Podcast. What are we talking about today?
Oh, well, today we're talking about, now this is interesting. There are all kinds of places that Little House lives online. And I went to watch this particular episode. It shows up in it shows up two different ways. It shows up as episode 3 of season 2 and episode 9 of season 2 on Peacock. So yeah, 2 of season 2.
It's 2.
Is that right? Season 2, or is it season 3?
I think it's season 2.
Yeah, I think it's season. I think it is season.
2.
I think it is season 2.
It is definitely season 2.
So
yes,
I thought it was early.
Yeah. So right, exactly. The first place
I watched it on Peacock last night too. I don't remember which episode.
Yeah, and it shows up as episode 9 on Peacock. But
yours.
Anyway, all right. Enough of where it shows up. The episode we're talking about, of course, is Ebenezer Sprague, which debuted on November 19th. 1975, written by Hindi Brooks and directed wonderfully by Victor French. So, Allison, what is this very cool special episode about?
Well, and I had not seen this in years. And so I watched and was like, I forgot all
Me
about
neither.
this.
I hadn't either.
What's it? Ebenezer Sprague. At its core, a lesson in how fear and mistrust can quietly wall us off from the world. Mean Mr. Sprague. Well, they named him Ebenezer. Har, 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 Scrooge. Like, get it?
Yes.
Like, on the nose. Like, in case
Just,
I'm sure. Okay.
As the show can be. Right on the nose.
Yes, and this is like pretty much like a one plot line,
here.
kind of like, here you go. This is what the show is about. Don't get complicated on us. He arrives in Walnut Grove, armored against disappointment, convinced that every kindness must hide an angle. Oh yeah, this guy trusts nobody. He's kind of interesting guy. And then along comes Laura, unfiltered and incapable of guile. So yes, through her persistence and sincerity and fishing What? She cracks open a heart that had long ago closed itself for protection. This episode reminds us that even the most suspicious, fearful person can be coaxed back into humanity by the simple truth of a genuine connection. Sometimes all it takes is one honest child to prove that the world isn't as dangerous as we've talked ourselves into believing. Oh,
Yeah, it's so
but
prairie.
and Hindi is written other way. Hindi wrote The Rivals.
Right,
That's another
right.
good one. But this is one.
I
as
was
you would
wondering
say,
what
it's,
else Cindy wrote.
open and one plot and like nothing. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
The banker comes and they build the building, and the banker comes and
Right.
he goes fishing and
Yeah, there's no
Right.
there's no B story here. It is very, very straightforward. I mean, Little House, I think we all agree that because of the way it was shot and edited, Little House always has a gentler pace to it. This episode is very slow in its pacing, but it really
slow.
works.
It
Works so nicely, but it's a very drilled down. Really, it drills down on this emotional space that this man Ebenezer Sprague is in, and how Laura, as she is inclined to do, impacts even the most hard-hearted man.
And it's another one of those. Is Laura, the little tiny, like 10, 11-year-old, talking to complete strangers again, getting the vehicles of strange men? Yes, she is. But it's in service of the plot. Yes, by 1974-75 in Los Angeles, we all knew perfectly well that you don't do that. And even in the 1800s, like I said, if you read the books, Laura and Mary just are not running off with strange people without asking their parents. That doesn't really happen. And if you read like about Laura, Ma Ingalls was absolutely going, don't talk to him. So yes, no, in real life, Mom, Pop, what do you mean you met a dude fishing? Absolutely, they would all hell would have broken loose. But in the story, this is okay. And of course, in this case, he's fine. He's fine. But it's in service of the story. It is somehow completely okay for her to be talking to strangers.
I just want to bring up Hindi Brooks for a moment here too. She wrote, this is the first of her 2 episodes that she wrote for Little House, as Allison said, the second one being The Rivals. She has an interesting selection of the kinds of things that she wrote. Going back to early in her career, she wrote an episode of The Life and Times of Grizzly Adams, which puts her in period space. Then she wrote, and Pamela, I don't know if you're familiar with, and Allison, I'm sure you are familiar with, the wonderful Seda Thompson, James Broderick series Family that gave us
our big competition. They swept the
yeah,
Emmys.
but this was
Everybody
considered a very important program in its time.
Critics' darling.
Absolutely.
Critics' darling.
You never see it now, but in that moment, it was incredibly important, beautifully acted, very thoughtful and provocative. So Hindi wrote 5 episodes of Family.
Christy McNichol was on it. Quinn Cummings had half the universe. It was a great show.
Yes.
But I do occasionally go, ha, because it was so adored by the critics and by Hollywood, New York, and got all the good articles and all the Emmys and all the press. And we were like, oh, we're just over here. And now it's like, do they come out on TV? They didn't come on Are they streaming? Are they streaming on Roku or Amazon?
They don't have a 24/7 streaming channel. Yeah.
No, they have a podcast. They don't have a podcast.
But it was a very important program in its
window. Good. And it was a great freaking show. The acting was amazing.
It was great. She wrote 10 episodes of Fame, which was an ABC program, obviously based on the feature film Fame. NBC had its version of Fame, which was also considered a very important program in its time, cutting edge themes, wonderful young actors, the whole cast was wonderful. So very, very, just very thoughtful writing on Fame. And then she wrote 10 episodes of 8 is Enough, which is not a program that I ever really spent a lot of time watching, but a very popular program in its time.
Another super family programming, bunch of kids, people dug it. I knew people on it. It was another one of those. Yes, there were people that loved it.
Yeah, so really, really a very important program in its time. And then the last one I noted here was Lindsay Wagner, sort of the nurse. I think she's a nurse in a show called Jessie. Lindsay Wagner, as an actress,
oh my God, I forgot all about that
Lindsay
one.
Wagner as an actress could make the most inane material seem important, seem sane.
Brilliantly.
Lindsay Wagner is just so grounded in authenticity and truth. She just found she could always find something that felt real for her. No, I think this was one of those things. I guess what I'm thinking of is, not Wonder Woman, but what was the thing? The Bionic Woman.
Bionic Woman.
Yeah,
It's-
I mean,
yeah,
my
Bionic
God,
Woman.
she
And
made that important.
See, that's because she's really grounded in real life. You know, our fabulous publicist Harlan Bowl, very good friends with her, and she's a really cool person. She's a very grounded,
Just beautiful
sane,
woman, beautiful
fabulous
voice,
person, and
wonderful
it all
voice.
it comes
Yeah,
out.
I mean, great,
Yeah.
great. So anyway, Hindi Brooks has had a nice writing career, and this is just a smattering of a lot of work that she did.
It starts slow. I have in my notes, like the first few minutes, it's very slow. I even said to Bob, 'cause
Yeah.
when, Bob never watched Little House on the Prairie. He saw like a minute here and there. And then after we got married and we're going to a cast reunion, I think you got to watch. I said, well, you got to watch Lord is My Shepherd because we're on our way to Sonora and everything. And it was that first time in Sonora at the film festival. So he sat down to watch and he went, I'm going to fall asleep. How do you stay awake to like film this? Because it starts so slow where it gets going. And he later saw episodes that were like faster paced and funny. He was like, okay, I get it now. I said, dude, it's a good thing you didn't try to watch this one first. You wouldn't have made it 15 minutes in because it's just like you're waiting. And then it's a slow build. It's a slow build.
Yeah. But it's a good payoff. But I also want to say I always take, for example, Sesame Street. You know, when I was growing up on Sesame Street, it was calm. You know, Mr. Rogers, it was calm. It let the kids do more of the work. You know what I mean? Like we had to use and it was totally enjoyable. And you watch Sesame Street now and it's like flash, 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 quick, quick, quick. I mean, it's just so overstimulation, oversaturated colors and the music is all electronic. And I just think that we've lost that something special that happened when we allowed ourselves some more space. And there are so many episodes.
I can't tell for this, but it's been downhill since
It's
Elmo.
been downhill since Elmo, girl. You are absolutely right. That is a bumper stare.
It's been downhill since Elmo. I'm sorry.
He's
I know
very
he's very
cute.
cute. It's Elmo.
No,
But
you're
that's
right. It changed.
That's when it
And
all
you
got
watch
really rapid
children's
fire
t-
and
it-
kooky. And
all that. It's just like it's all coming at you fast and loud and quick.
Yeah.
Time to sit in. So I watched some of these episodes of Little House and I
Overstimulation. It's just overstimulation.
It's overstimulation and it I don't know, I think we've lost something with that. So I episodes of Little House when because we don't see that anymore. It's so wild. This one did have a good payoff though. This episode started off with, I don't think I like this episode. This isn't one of my favorites. And by the end, I was like, I love this episode so much. It's so good.
Well, it's such a wonderful, slow-paced for television, slow-paced, gentle lesson in how people deal with their own fears and anxieties and being open to being a part of the world.
He's amazing.
And this is this actor, Ted Gehrig,
yes. Oh, he's great.
is it? No, Gehring. Sorry, Ted Gehring.
I think so. And he's been in everything.
His
IMDb.
182
it's like
credits
what TV
on,
show?
yeah.
Right. He's been in like 2 episodes of every television show you ever watched in your entire life. He's in freaking. I'm going. He was in that. Oh my God. He was in that. He was in that. He was on a soap opera.
Oh, wow.
I was like, well, trivia. Okay, so yes, he was on Days of Our Lives. He was on The Waltons. He was on Gunsmoke. Yes, he was on Bonanza for 8 episodes. So yes, they hauled him in from there. They already knew him. But I was thrilled to see he was also on a show called Nichols. Do you know about the show Nichols? This I think it ran for 1 season and a half. It starred weirdly James Garner and Margot Kidder. ponder that for a second. Should have been a hit. Margot Kidder and James Garner. It was a Western. It was a comedy, a lighthearted, kind of amusing, sophisticated Western.
Have any of you seen Support Your Local Sheriff?
Oh my God, I remember that.
James Garner.
No.
Oh my God, is he brilliant in that kind of material? I mean, he's always wonderful.
A lot of that, Margot Kidder, but also recurring semi-regulars, Richard Bull and his wife Bobby are both regulars on the show Nichols. And I know this because years ago when Richard was still alive.
Was it filmed or was it studio audience?
That was one of my best thing I ever did was Little House.
Was it a half hour?
Nichols.
Like, was it
that was so much fun because I got to work with my wife and it was this kooky show with James Garner and Margot Kidder. Like, what is happening? and I found kinda it was like
was it a half hour?
The DVD.
Was it a half hour?
It's like a half hour. I think it was half an hour, but it ran for like a season. IMDb is the weirdest show, Nichols. I found a company that sells like the DVDs of the most obscure television shows and things that nobody watched, and I got the whole set of DVDs and gave them to Richard Bull so that he could watch Nichols again.
So Ted Garrett, I'm not going to pronounce his name right.
We probably are saying it wrong, but he was in everything. He's amazing.
Let me just, because I've got it here. Ted, find Ted. Oh no, that's not going to help me. Anyway, so he was really, his career was really built around playing these guys that were sort of hard-shelled, protected, and but clearly good. This is not a villain. He's not a villain. He's just a little self-protected. And
he has a couple of great lines and some good laughs in this.
Yeah, he
too.
does.
He gets one over on Mrs. Olson.
Sure
does.
Our
great delight. It's that kind of episode.
It's hard to sort of go through this scene by scene because it moves so slowly. But as Allison said, it starts with the building of the bank, and they do spend. That's where it starts.
Wait a minute. It's opening starts right off the bat. We have some mellow tones of 1970s David Rose music. It's it's that French horn, like wah, 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 wah. It's very 70s. I love it. We know this is not going to be a horrific episode right off the bat.
No one's gonna die. No one's gonna die.
No one's gonna die. Right.
Right. And I don't want to say the bank. I got to do my for then because the bank could go, oh, look at all that brick and the stone. It's all that weird TV fiberglassy paper mache nonsense. You could have kicked a hole in that thing.
So I didn't mean to cut you off, Dean. I just had to note the 70s,
No, you're right, though.
mellow tones.
Yep.
Well,
and he's funny. He's funny right away because a banker, and at one point they'd go, oh, a banker, yes, what a blessing. Yes, I'm not a blessing, I'm a banker. And he's hilarious, kind of in the door. And he's taken
the first scene that Michael, Charles and Carl Hansen have, or with Mr. Hansen have, is really sets up. They really don't waste any energy setting us up and having the audience understand who is coming and what the energy is. I mean, they're just sort of riffing. Mr. Hansen is riffing one joke after another about what a tough nut this guy is. So when we meet him, there are no surprises. He does not disappoint. He is as advertised.
Ebenezer, he's Ebenezer, har, and he is. He's are there no work hoses? Yes.
Well, and not only that, but so they're building. They find out that if they had 21 days to build the bank, if they go over it all, then they owe money. I mean, this is by a second.
He's 48. They're 48 minutes late.
By a second. How many minutes? How many minutes were they late?
I think.
Yeah, which he does.
Minutes. I'm docking you a
day's pay.
I'm docking you for 48 minutes.
But we also quickly learn that Pa wants to buy 40 more acres.
Right.
How? And therefore it needs to
because
get a loan.
Mankato's growing and you can sell everything that you grow and So that's the setup and then there's the second setup. So there is sort of a B story. So Pa needs a loan and Miss Beadle wants books for the kids.
That's right.
Right, Miss Beta wants books for kids. But this is, again, one of the moments that was very realistic. This was very the real Charles Ingalls. The reason the Ingalls never had any money, even though some people even said, isn't this the same time as the Gilded Age? Weren't people actually in some places having lots of money? Yes. In fact, even in Laura's book, some of her neighbors seemed just fine and have lots of furniture and heat. But no, Charles had a problem. Charles, wanted to move all the time, and his ideas of, well, we'll do this and we'll do that. We can take it alone. We'll take it alone. It'll be, and it was never fun. And so Charles is a bit of a gambler. And so again, here we go. And you see Ma's face when he says, "Oh, it's great. I'll buy another 40 acres." She's like, "Oh, no, you can't even farm the 40 acres." Yeah, he's going to go, and he's going to get another 40 acres. It's great. And what? Never mind that every 5 minutes on the show there's a prairie fire or a hailstorm or a tornado. You're going to just gamble that they've barely paid off the debts they have, and he wants to go borrow money to buy another 40 acres, and he's somehow magically going to farm all by himself. Yeah, no, he's out of his mind.
He's out of his mind. And even I was like, Charles, no, Charles. Bad idea.
Well, do it, Charles.
So, and what's sort of interesting, they also do a little thing. There's a little tell on Charles in this where, he invites Mr. Sprague to come for dinner. I don't need that. I don't need to come for dinner.
Yes.
And at night, after putting the kids to bed,
yes.
he and Caroline are in bed. Some really nice scenes in the bedroom in this one as they're chatting about life and times. And Caroline really puts it on the line with him. He says, maybe you were inviting him and being nice to him because you want to get this loan.
Yep.
And he has to sort of sorrowfully or embarrassed to admit that, yes, that's probably true. He was trying to get on Mr. Sprague's good side, and Mr. Sprague wasn't having that.
Right.
And Ma's all about okay, well, we're real intentions, God will know. But also I have to say in this scene is one of the bedroom scenes with Paul. Long johns were not intended to be
sexy. God. I have this in my notes.
What the heck is going on?
Oh my God, seriously?
Seriously,
he's
Dean.
Gorgeous. He's
for real.
It's like in pink
for
long johns. Who looks good in pink long johns? And he looks amazing. And he's like stripping down to these pink long johns. And I'm going, that shouldn't be attractive. But yeah, here we are. And Ma is going on and on about books. And do you know, I have no idea what that woman said.
No,
I have no idea what she was talking about.
Voice
because I was
is
going,
super
long johns.
Well, not only that, you can't keep your eyes off of Pa and the long johns, which is odd, but true. But also, it feels like her voice was super looped in during the scene because she was talking a voice like this that
really
did not sound like her. It just sounded so weird. I was like, what is going on with Ma?
That's interesting.
So her voice
generally
was super
production
weird.
On the stage was good.
I know. I couldn't figure out why would they did in fact loop it. If they didn't loop it, why was she talking that way? And third of all, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this is what I noticed. She puts her arm, he goes on his side. They're going to go to sleep. She puts his arm around her and we see Ma's nails, which are beautifully manicured.
Oh,
shiny, manicured.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mrs. Whipple's nail parlor Emporium is in full effect.
Mrs. Whipple's nail parlor strikes again. Also, they were getting awfully
really were.
snuggly.
Yeah, I thought so too,
like,
actually. I thought so too.
Yeah, because it was like, sometimes they read the Bible or eat popcorn and they somehow make that sexy. I don't know how. But they started snuggling. I went, oh no, where is this going? Are they going to make out like a
I know.
What is happening? Like, freaks me out.
I will say, no one in the history of the planet has ever looked good in long johns before, ever, until this moment. So, bravo, Michael Lanton.
It really was
well,
kind of
I have to say, so Pamela, you're nothing if not consistent.
Well, listen, I'm telling it like it is.
In your total adoration for
an old
Michael's
married
physicality.
woman, and
listen, noted it. She was the first one.
I was there too. Look. I worked with the guy. I went out and I went, really? Good heavens.
Ellison, quick question. I know.
Good heavens, what is on my television?
Kid, but did you recognize how beautiful he was when you were a kid?
Well, she was a little kid.
She was a little kid.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was the whole relationship
right, of course.
thing. He was my boss.
And more of a father figure. I get it.
But I knew that he was cute because I mean, as soon as he came in the morning with the 5,000-watt smile and the sunglasses and the
pretty
hair, I was
incredible.
like, well then, and I was like, yeah, it's the 70s, and right away, even as a 12, 13-year-old, I thought it was terribly funny that he was this wholesome Minnesota dirt farmer, and he shows up in the 1970s low-cut shirt with the gold chains and the pants, and I thought it was a riot, the incongruity of that, and yes, he was clearly gorgeous. He was absolutely gorgeous,
and you know, I have to say, I mean, there's some people who carry that, and it's like they just are, and that's just how it is. I always felt with Michael that Michael really, and I say this with all good intent here, Michael loved being a star. He loved being a star. And that when he walked into the room, you could feel his presence there. We've talked about this before. He really was amazing, and 100%. He was not, other than, okay, they both are very handsome men, clearly, as Michael and as Charles, but when you saw him working as the one, and then you saw him being himself, very different energy.
See, this is why I say Emmys. We was robbed because all these other shows got Emmys. Our show, obviously, oh my God, the cinematography director. But I have said for years, and people think I'm kidding or whatever, that Michael Landon should have won Best Actor. And people say, oh, but he would. I go, hello? Did you ever meet him? The actual guy? Yeah. And he's playing this guy, and everyone believed him. That is Academy Award level work. This dude comes in his Ferrari and his gold chains and his house in Malibu and his tan and his food. He's like, "Hey, babe, I'm going to the Playboy Jazz Festival at the Hollywood Bowl. Who's going?" And then sits down and says, "I wish we had another penny for a slate pencil, and I'm going out to the barn now to make a table. And I love you. I love you so much." Yeah. And you're like, who are you? It was freaking genius, people.
No, he really was. So, he was very special.
He was he was the most underrated
Which is wild because his acting is insane. Like every episode, I'm like, this guy's a genius. Without knowing.
No, he's terrific.
So without knowing what that in real life, I can look at him and go, oh my God, this guy is incredible. He's incredible.
And turn on a dime, because he'd be joking around, he'd be directing, go, okay, I like the shot, hey, okay, what are you doing for lunch? Oh my God, stay away from the beans. Yark, sit down and cry.
And then sit down and cry.
Yeah, he did. He did not need it.
Yeah, no, he was very emotionally
available.
He could really, it was a great tennis match watching him play with himself. I mean, it's like he could play tennis go back and forth across the net with himself. He was really special. Exactly. Let's continue on with the episode. So
okay. Wow, the long johns really got us.
This is. Yeah, I know. You gotta watch that, Pamela. You're you get a little caught up in the long johns.
Allison was the first one to mention it.
Unusual for you to go there.
Shocking. Long johns. He made long johns look good. Some of Catherine and Richard have one of their epic moments in this. Catherine is so good. Again, it was the slower pace because second year. So Mrs. Olsen is doing more the slow, not the goofy wild, but the slow turn of the screw. Well, and then Mr. Olsen, as and Nels is doing his thing. The takes, the asides, the look.
He's in hell.
They're killing it. They are killing it in this episode.
God, she's awful.
Yes, this is absolutely great. And what is she going on about? She's trying to suck up to the banker. What is she talking about? Wanting to hang around with his own kind.
Yes, I love that. Hang around with his own
Lord.
kind.
And Nels is like, what?
She's truly awful.
Yeah. No, she is, she was doing her job. I mean, that's what she was there to provide. That's why she was hired, is that she could bring that with such condescension, and she was really remarkable in the way that she could do that. And she could wade right into all that. And then, of course, she goes. So she's going to go now. But as soon as she realizes Caroline is going to the bank to meet Charles, suddenly she becomes like this schoolgirl who needs to prepare herself for the big flirt.
Like she's got a crush on the freaking banker. It's like, what is going on in this thing? Now, I'm like looking at every detail because Catherine was so detailed and she's doing little ticks and things. But that shawl that she goes
the shawl and the hat.
rolling in with the shawl.
It doesn't.
It doesn't really go with the outfit, but it's stunning, the floor shawl. I think that was Catherine's shawl. This was a regular thing where she and the wardrobe lady with Richeline, they would talk. There's a pair of earrings that are hers that she wore frequently. She said, yeah, I brought in these earrings, and Richeline, and they were approved. Richeline said, yep, those period, they're great. And she would bring stuff in sometimes. And Richeline would go, yeah, that'll work. Do you want, we'll have to keep it here for a while, but if you're going to have it. And I think that shawl was a Catherine item that she brought in because it was just like, where did that come from?
For sure.
It just appears.
So they go to the bank, and she sets
going
up
to the
banker, and
yeah, and the amazing Jack Lilly shows up. Our lovely Jack
at 3 o'clock. There is that at
Mr.
that moment?
Wagon Driver
Does that
Man
happen there?
He does come into the bank.
Isn't it later though, where it's 3 o'clock and he
yes.
Well, we're not there yet.
Yeah. Right, because he later comes in because when he's not there, he's like, where is he? And I'm like, Jack Lilly's in this.
He's banging on the door. I mean, there's never been a bank in Walnut Grove, and suddenly there's a rush at 3 o'clock to get to the, it's like everyone's coming to get their payroll or something. It's
We've never had a bank, and suddenly everyone needs to
go to the bank. Yeah. So Mrs. Olson shows up. She grovels to Mr. Sprague. He blows her off.
She's of all flummoxed. Burns.
Yeah.
Yes, was that?
It was
that's
incredible.
One of the funny moments, and this is also thing in this episode. Do not judge a book by its cover. Mrs. Olson making these wild assumptions. Well, the bank is one of our colleges. He's obviously highly
I'm
educated
from the city,
and has come from
and
money.
He's like,
I quit school in the 3rd grade. Father was a farmer. No cities till 17.
Yeah.
Didn't like farmers.
Didn't like the city.
Yeah. I mean, it's like,
I didn't go to school. I dropped out of school.
Didn't like the city, right?
I ran a
Didn't
farm.
like
I never went to the city, and I don't like this, and I don't like that. Thank you very much. And he's like,
he's so good.
He's like, move this along,
he
lady.
Did
I
it
ain't got
so
time.
well. He just nailed this whole. His approach to this was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And also, he was right.
It was a hit in the mid. It was mic drop,
and it flustered her.
He just told Mrs. Olson,
flustered.
He was like, let me go point by point to everything you said and why you're wrong, and I don't want to talk to you, lady. Boom. That was it.
It's so interesting because we go back and forth with all this, and we really don't get the major thing here. The turning point moment in this, and I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, is when when Laura connects to Mr. Sprague, and so we fully established in its slow, gentle pacing that Mr. Sprague is a tough nut and nobody's going to deal with him. And here Laura goes fishing, and she's got Jack with her. By the way, I want to talk about Jack, that dog, out in the stickers of a Southern California summer.
Oh, baby.
Not a great combination of dog and area. I'm sure that the dog was being brushed constantly to keep him clean. Yes. But anyway, so you have this wonderful moment where Jack takes off after the carriage and the barking, and Mr. Sprague is trying to get control of his horse, which is a little much. The thing that surprised me about that moment was when the horse goes into the tree. It's like, wait a minute, this is not a car that you lose control of. The horse can see the tree. He's not going to run into the tree.
Well, listen, you're talking as if people know about horses. I mean, I know nothing about horses, and I was like, okay.
Do you think a horse would run into a tree?
No, the horse would not have run into the tree. I believed that the horse would have been spooked. That I believe.
Yeah, no, that part of it worked. That part of it worked. And then Jack is chasing and loving it, and that wonderful bark that the dog had.
Maybe he went into the tree because he was steering him wildly, and it just sort of last minute turn, and it.
Yeah, I think
that's how I'm going to justify it. I'm justifying it that way.
Yeah.
Now, if you have two horses and they start
Isn't
like
it just a,
freaking
it's a
out,
single?
trying to run
It's just a
different
single
direction,
horse.
that's the thing. But it's a
Yeah,
single
yeah.
horse, so it shouldn't
Well.
be a thing. But yeah, it's very crazy. Now they go fishing, and dough balls are the bait of choice. Now, has anyone here fished like at all? I fished at
Very
the end of
little.
fishing as a kid.
So I can't say I'm a fisherman
Very
at all.
little. Are you fisher? Dough balls are, in fact, the bait of choice. They are amazing. And I checked with Bob, because I know Bob and his dad, when he back in the day, I said, dude, he goes, absolutely, my father took me fishing. I said, dough balls? He goes, oh, yeah, dough balls. Oh, no, that's all you want to use is dough balls. I said, now, she's rolling up bread. He goes, I think my dad used like actual dough, like pre-baked. He said he made them. And Bob said, I did not make them. I was too little, so I don't know how my dad made them exactly, but my father and mother made them, and my father brought dough balls, and absolutely, you will catch fish. He said, you're going to get carp and stuff like that.
She's in
and
the
I said, well,
pond.
she's getting catfish and these kind of things. He said, that's the kind of thing you would get. Now I looked it up, and apparently dough balls, hugely popular. They would put things like vanilla and garlic in them. You can flavor them, and that really catches fish. So absolutely, totally a thing. Also, Laura says fish is brain food.
Well, that's before she goes
her excuse to go fishing.
She's announced because she's not doing the homework, the extra homework. So she's going to get smart. Mary's getting smarter by doing the extra problems. Laura's getting smarter by going to the fishing hole and catching fish, the brain food.
She's trying to get her chores done ahead. She can't sweep the floor to save her life.
Yes.
I know.
Kicking
Sweeps
dust
it all
up
on the
everywhere.
dog.
And TV children who can't sweep the floor. And now, here's one of those 1870s, 1970s collide moments. I love when this happens. So, is fish brain food? Yes, absolutely it is. We now know that DHA, the thing, and it lowers
and
the
fish
risk
oil,
of cognitive
yes.
decline, and the fish oil. Yeah, we know all that now. But in the 1800s, they had discovered that fish was high in phosphorus, and scientists said phosphorus affects the brain. Without phosphorus, there is no life, etc. And Mark Twain made jokes about fish being brain food. Seriously.
Wow.
He told some authors that they would need to eat a couple of mid-sized whales if they were going to catch up to the level of intelligence they needed. You said that you need to be you need a couple of mid-sized whales, boys. So fish's brain food was 100% a thing that was talked about at the time. Laura would have said this, so they're not making it up. But they only knew about the phosphorus. They didn't know about the fish oil, the DHA, or how really good. But guess when that was discovered? In the early 70s. So there were articles in magazines and newspapers in 1974, 1975 that our audience at home would have been reading about the new discoveries of fish being brain food. So that was a nod
with the
to
facts,
that.
baby.
So Hindi
But it's
Brooks
okay.
ripping from the headlines.
Ripping
adds
from the headlines,
elements to the
and
Little House
Laura
Script.
would
The
have
Ingalls are
known
going to get
because
very smart because every
phosphorus
damn
Actually, not
day.
the hot
I mean,
thing
at the
then.
point, like there was a point where I was fish, like the family single night. But you know, that's where my brain goes to.
Well, dough balls are cheap, so fish is practically
That's right.
free.
Fish is free.
So free food.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't want anything to do with
Vitamin
things. I
F
have
free.
expert bait, and I'm an expert in go away, and he doesn't get any fish,
Right.
and she gets all the fish.
And she's just catching, like, the fish are jumping onto her hook, basically.
ball.
Because she has dough balls, and she's right. And he's got a lure. He's got a lure from the city,
Yeah.
and she's like, the fish didn't
Yeah,
read
right.
the
I
book.
love that.
Was it?
Yeah. Fish don't read books. And she leaves. And then,
Brilliant.
so there are some other things that we've missed. I mean, Mr. Sprague, after the dog chases his cart into his carriage into the trees, he wants
Yes.
to report it to the local, report Jack to the
can't do
sheriff. Laura has to point out
Yes,
there is
I love
no
this.
sheriff in Walnut Grove. I mean, so he's learning the pace of Walnut Grove a little bit.
Right.
And that leads to the trip to the fishing hole, and they're going to go fishing. Now, after that fishing, we're back in school now. There's a board meeting going on, and Mrs. Olson is telling everybody that education of children is personal responsibility, and Miss Beadle disagrees. It's a community thing where it's for the country. we're so some good broad values being shared here in this moment.
And can
Public
I ask,
education values.
Who's the biatch who clapped?
I know.
Who's the bitch who clapped?
Allison, we never see her again.
Everyone is with Miss Beadle. Everyone is with me, Miss Beadle. Of course, we need books for the children. Why wouldn't we need books for the children? What are you crazy? And Miss Logan, no, the parents can pay for them. And this woman who we've never seen goes, yes, yes, you are right. And I'm like, who is she? Who is she?
Right. So then Caroline decides we should collect for the books, and how much will we need? And Miss Beadle talks about the book for the McGuffey reader and the general studies book. What they need is going to be $27.50 for all these books. I always often wonder how they arrived at these numbers for these things. I mean, I just don't know. No, I did go through and pull some things, realizing that these books had different pricing on them. I mean, if you were buying the primer book, the primer McGuffey, it would have sold for 10 to 12 cents, as opposed to the 6th grade reader, which would have sold for 80 cents to $1. I don't know why.
Yepers.
Because the books sort of, Allison, were the books different sizes?
Yeah, no, they were. Okay. They were different. The primer's really tiny.
Okay.
The first one, the primer, yes, absolutely is teeny. And then they get should be about the same price until like the 6th grade one, which has more. McGuffey readers are great. They're still used today.
We see them in Laura sites everywhere.
Yeah, and you can still get them online. And I actually bought some for the school there in where the heck were we, near Beppin. I actually went and bought them a crate because they were out of McGuffey's. So
now they haven't changed? Like or has it? It doesn't change.
They have not changed. I think that every now and then they've changed. Maybe they'll sneak in a different poem or story, but most of the stuff, the content is identical, and the cover hasn't changed, making it convenient for our prop men at the time to just go purchase them.
Yes, you can
right.
You could go anywhere.
I have written in my notes. I have written in my notes.
Yeah.
Meeting is the reason why I don't go to PTA meetings. This is like the kind of This is like, oh no, I am not like, you will not catch me PTO meeting. Nope, don't want it. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for your service. I really appreciate you. You will not be seeing me there. I do not need to deal with you people at all. We need books. The kids need books. How about we all agree on that, shall we?
Now, Mrs. Olson, when she realized at first, no, but then we could get the banker to donate. Chance to suck up to banker.
That's right.
And she goes,
all
again,
in.
nuts. She turns, again, she had 100% no, we are not contributing the books. The parents should pay for them. I am not getting into this. I'm not raising money. I'm not donating money. Oh, I get to talk to the banker. I got to go now and talk to the banker about books.
But instead of going herself, she's going to get Caroline to do it, because she cannot lower herself to ask a man of such means, her social equal, to contribute to such a thing, because that just wouldn't be done. But the peasant, Mrs. Olson, or rather Mrs. Ingalls, can go to the banker and beg for the money for the books.
This did lead to, I did write down, Catherine had a moment here. There was a great Catherine moment. She's ranting at Caroline, going, and then I have to, and you should do it. And then she goes, I have a million things to do.
Just runs off.
And disappears.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that was an ad lib. I swear to God, that was.
So you think she was just looking for a way out of the scene?
Well, I think they probably, as it was written, was like, well, she says this, and maybe they cut, or then she leaves, and she went, no, I should ditch this poor woman. I should dismiss her. And what insane thing, because it's kind of out of nowhere, I have a million things to do, and runs away and went, oh, she made that up.
And Victor was directing, and Victor was very open to that kind of thing happening.
Right.
And it worked. It worked.
And
it wasn't bad.
It worked really well. He would have encouraged that kind of energy to come out.
I died. I roared.
We should take a break, and then we will sum up.
I think we should, because we've almost gone an hour here.
I know.
It's amazing. For a slow-paced episode, we have a lot to talk about.
Well, the
There's
long
little
things
things.
Is the main thing.
Wiles of a Woman is coming up. The Wiles of a Woman.
Let's come back to that. That's a good place to break.
We'll be right back.
When you visit Simi Valley, California, you're stepping into the pages of history. Go from the pioneers to the presidents. Explore beautiful wildflowers, hike through iconic Hollywood locations, and end your day aboard the actual Air Force One at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library and Museum. Throughout the summer, take the Little House 50th Anniversary Tour at Big Sky Movie Ranch. Less than 15 minutes from Los Angeles and 30 minutes from Universal Studios, Simi Valley has small-town charm with big-time history. Go to visitsimivalley.com for more information. We are so grateful to visitsimivalley.com for their commitment to presenting the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast.
All right. Hi, guys. We're back. Okay, so we are still establishing Laura and Mr. Sprague are continuing to go fishing. He's now using the dough balls. They're establishing a relationship, nice relationship between the two of them. They're having great conversation.
Strange
That's
man,
right. She doesn't know his name. He does not know her name. She does not know that this is the bank, the nasty, nasty banker, the evil banker man. Now, Ma does go to the bank. She asked for a donation for the books. What happens, you guys? Who wants to say it?
He's so horrible.
Gasp-worthy.
No, I grew up without books. And he doesn't want, and then he's like, "You're not here. This is the just use your you want the loan. You're here about your husband."
He said, Allison. He says the only thing I'm responsible for doing is running an honest bank and making a reasonable profit. That's his sole responsibility in the world.
And he does
is to run an honest bank and
he
make a
is one of those guys. It's like, I never got books from anyone. No one ever helped me, and I did it all on my own.
Right.
So too bad. Like, I'm not donating crap to these people.
He is part of that pull yourself up by your
Right.
bootstraps conversation, which is a very, that's a very real conversation. And that is still a very real conversation in our country.
But it's also
That's
part
right.
of why I think he is a little wounded and lonely. That's
Yes.
part of the loneliness and the wounding that Laura gets to
That's
later
right.
is he didn't.
Yes.
He didn't. He had to leave home at 13. He would have liked to
Right.
have grown up with books, but he didn't. He's not really happy about that. So
Yeah,
he's
hurt
still
people,
kind
hurt
of
people.
hurting about the fact that he had to leave home at 13.
Right.
And he didn't have any money. So he's playing it off with, well, you could do it too. But he's like, no, it sucks.
Right, exactly.
He's
So
unhappy about it.
let's get to the wiles of a woman thing, because this is
And
a
he
really
accuses
turning
this
point
woman.
moment in the episode.
He goes a little too far because he's accusing her of
He's
using it. Well,
accusing
I fall in love with
Caroline. Yeah.
Caroline of using the wild, and he said, "I'm not 50. I didn't live this long to hurt her to get fall for the wiles of a woman." And wow, that is not a thing that Caroline
Right.
does. It's almost in those days suggesting possibly a sexual component, seduction, that she would be using her looks. It's kind of pushing the envelope insult wise in the 1800s.
And yet it's
getting a
said
little
in
close.
such a anachronistic way that it makes it, it's sort of it's amusing to call her using the wiles of a woman. That's just not a phrase that you would turn
I
about
think if
women.
he says it,
funny. Now we go
and
to the
it's
wiles of a
also
woman, but
shocking.
Charles
when you hear
knows what
him
it
say
is.
it, like, he said, "What now? Oh no!"
And sure enough, when they get home and she says something about the wiles of a woman, and Charles
Hail
goes,
to the no.
He said, "What?" And of course, I love it. Lord, like, what are wiles of a woman? And he goes, "Something your
Never
mother
does.
doesn't
Yes,
use. Never
Yeah.
does." And he's like, right away reading the possible seduction component and going, "Oh, he did not say that. He did not just say that to my wife. Oh no, he's not."
And then Laura says to them, maybe I should introduce Mr. Sprague to my friend. Maybe some of his niceness will rub off the nicest will rub off from her friend onto this mean Mr. Sprague.
Yes. Yeah. because she has no clue.
No
she
idea.
still thinks the nice man, the complete and her parents haven't really asked a lot of questions again about the strange.
I know, right? Okay, can we just pause for a second? No one's in the least bit concerned.
This is a very hot
I always
for
go,
you,
what?
Pamela. Always,
No one's the least bit concerned.
And yes, in real life, they would have been. In real life, Ma would have had a conniption. But in this show, they go, "Oh, great! So the middle-aged guy you fish with, and you don't know his name. Awesome.
Yeah,
Take some more bait."
I mean, I guess the big. I listen, and I understand. Like the Land of Little House, the television show is trustworthy. Everyone has good intentions. Like nothing's wrong until someone shows that something's very wrong, right? But it's. Come on. You guys aren't bothered that your daughter, your 10-year-old, or maybe, I don't know, 9-year-old is hanging out with some middle-aged
10-year-old.
Maybe they think
She's
he's
10.
a kid. Maybe they think he's a kid. Maybe she didn't mention he's a middle-aged guy.
But yeah, in real life, Ma would have said, "You're not leaving this house."
Yeah, but
Are you
here's
crazy?
Here's the thing. Also, about let me just say here's a writing thing, and Pamela,
Okay.
you can relate to this. So the story is written completely open.
Yes,
the audience
right.
knows who Mr. Sprague is, so they don't have to have this conversation. The audience knows that this is not someone who's going to be doing harm to Laura.
Yes.
He's a little uptight, but he's not dangerous.
So we're mentally, basically, with the audience, we're jumping ahead to it's okay. It's the banker. He's not going. He's not going to murder.
I know. It's just super weird.
Of course, but yeah, I mean, if we never saw the guy, then it would be very important to ask that question.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's true. And a buggy is essentially his car. And we do all go, why?
Well,
is she
I
in
know
his
when
car?
she was in his buggy too, I was like, even though I know nothing's gonna be fine, we know everything's gonna be fine. Just as
and not in the and there's no back seat. So what could be happening
it doesn't
there?
matter.
But he's got both his hands on the lines, Pamela.
I know.
He's driving that horse with both hands.
He's
got both hands on the wheel.
Nervy.
I still haven't recovered. Yeah, I haven't recovered from when Mary, the good one, jumped in a car with Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
Who is clearly sketchy and not a good guy.
You had some
and
reason
totally
for concern.
sketchy. And it's like, she can't go with him. He's obvious.
All right, let's get to this moment with the turning point.
Wait, but first,
I, mean,
I just want to say something. I just want to say something really quick first. I think the conversation that Laura and he have at the pond that next day, where she's telling him all about this horrible banker that won't give any money, and he must be the richest guy, and what's wrong with this guy, and he's awful. And first of all, so he does not reveal that it's him, but then he also, it's like that economics thing about, if you give people things that they don't work hard, then if you give people things, they won't work hard for themselves. And it's that whole mindset that people, it's all right, that people still have today. I mean, that theory has not gone away. But it was really sort of like, oh boy, oh wow, okay, great, wow.
Yeah, he has to defend himself. He doesn't say, well, I'm the banker. He goes, well, maybe the banker has a reason. Did you ever think of that?
If you give handouts, and that means people will be lazy themselves. Woof, woof.
Right.
Yeah.
And she argues with him about it.
And she starts debating him. And again, this is where the child
She does. She really does. Poor people are the hardest working.
On these shows. Laura knows everything. And she starts, we should feel sorry for him. And he's like, wait, what are you talking? And then she starts quoting Emerson.
Love that.
And he goes, did you just quote Emerson to the little kid who he thinks is an idiot? And she's like, yeah, you're right. You're too young. And she goes, oh, my pa reads to us. And he's like, her dad reads Emerson. And he still isn't clued in that it's Charles, but he's going, I'm liking her dad. She's talking about hard work and values, and God, and her dad reads Emerson, and well, they were, and he starts, and then he's like, well, no, I don't have any family, and blah. Love when she's saying, you don't have a wife? No. And she goes, well, there's lots of old ladies in
I know, it was very sweet. Laugh too. It's adorable.
Adorable. But she's working him. She doesn't realize she's working him.
Yeah.
And he's like, who is this kid? But it starts to work. It's like Chinese water torture.
Yeah. Okay, then the turning.
Did you
Dean,
break
someone's
furniture,
talking to Dean.
Fell over?
Yeah, no, I was Benny push the door open. There's a tractor across the street. I tried to close the door, tipped the microphone over. Disaster. Yeah. So and
it's
Catherine's
okay because
looking
10
at the
minutes
door
ago
saying,
Margot
"How
came
much
in,
longer
left
are
the
you
door
talking?"
wide open.
Are
Well,
you
Kitty was here, but we had a talk.
I know, because
She's
everyone's
not.
home today because of the snow day.
We're in the middle of a show.
Not here. Life is intruding as
3
usual.
hours. It's we're right in the middle. Sorry, everybody. Catherine
okay.
asked me
Yeah.
accounting questions. I say we're right in the middle of a show.
Yeah, right. This is how it is. Hey, Bob walked into the cooking show the other day. And we just went, hey, and now Bob is here. And hey,
But
and
Catherine's
stuff.
always said, "How
Oh,
long
this is
do
going to be an
these
8-hour show at
go?"
least.
How long are we going?
It better
We
not
do.
be.
I mean, I do have. I guess I need to be out by 12. I gotta go.
We
Yeah,
do. We'll get
quicker
to
than
it.
that.
Get to it.
Yeah,
Let's
okay.
get to the
We
turning
should be
point
out
now.
before that.
All right, so we
Before
need to
that,
get to that.
Betsy.
We need to get to the turning
Here it
point
is.
moment here.
Nellie.
Yes.
Nellie's in charge
Okay.
of the turning point
Okay.
moment.
Yes.
Oh,
I thought
Nellie.
I'd never say
God.
these words,
Thank
but Nellie to
God.
the rest go on.
And I actually, Nellie to the rescue. Not only am I shockingly for the idea that everyone should have books. When did Nellie's rebelled against her mother apparently and thinks it's great, we should all have books. But Nellie now shows up and goes, "Hi, I am here to deliver a key, massively life-changing plot point and just blow everything out of the water. Hi, oh, how you doing? Oh yes, we should totally chip in for books." And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, the banker." Yeah, the banker. That's the banker. That's the banker. Yeah, no, the banker. The one who got. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know. You didn't know that the guy that. And I basically show up, and now
That's
she
right.
knows that it's him, which no one had some.
You
found
have
a way to
opened the
tell her.
plot for Laura.
I have blown doors,
and
off
this
the whole
leads
thing.
to the scene,
My work,
the
yes.
really important scene that the whole
crying.
episode turns on.
I wanted a friend. I wanted a friend.
I wanted a
Right.
best friend who wanted to go fishing. Oh gosh, it was just so so sad.
No, exactly. This is where Melissa, where her quality as a little girl was
Yeah.
so
She's so
extraordinary. I always think, when you look at Melissa's work, that at that time in her life, you could put any juvenile actress from any time in the industry up against what Melissa did in these episodes, and you'd say there's nobody
she's
who's
something.
going to outshine her. I mean, she's really, really extraordinary in these, and she does this. This is a wonderful scene that she has with him, and he's like having his life. He's being cut open
That's right.
here, and wow.
He starts to feel like the heel that he is. And you see him going, "Oh, I'm a terrible person." It's like it starts to sink in.
Yeah.
It's just like, and then she gets back
Well,
to Pa. who
another
really,
killer
that's
scene.
The tearjerk moment. That's the boohoo moment when Pa gives her the big
So
speech.
she's crying in bed.
If you never,
Oh.
I can't even say it. If you never love someone, you never.
Yeah, he's
have to
without love.
worry
There just
about
isn't
them
any
hurting
reason
you.
for living.
Never love someone.
Kill me now. I mean, if this scene isn't the epitome of what
Right.
Little House on the Prairie is about, this scene, and then there's a couple other things
Yes.
Pa says to
Yes.
Sprague later that, like, I feel sorry for you. You think money important. And,
Right.
I mean, it's just like
Right.
this episode turns into what Little House is all about.
I don't need friends.
Totally. This scene at the top of Act 4 is this Pa Laura scene. These are the scenes that were the
That's
money
right.
scenes
Yep.
in the series. This is really where it lives. Right here. This is the goodness.
You can't go through life being afraid to love. Yes, people leave, people die, bad things happen, but then what? You have to love, even
Right.
if someone might hurt you. Even, better to have loved than lost. It's like you still have to be able to love. You can't just not love and not have friends and not ever trust anyone because someone hurt you.
And then the next morning, Pa delivers the message to Mr. Sprague, "You broke my girl's heart. Laura gave you her friendship and you threw it back in her
That's good, 'cause
face."
you don't have
And
any.
he says, "I don't need friends." And you don't have any, is the response. And
No, it's all right.
I mean, boom, boom,
Get 'em.
boom. And that night, and I'm sorry, I'm sort of pushing this along. That night we see him, or that afternoon, he is alone.
Now it's interesting. Once
and devastated in his
little cot and his fancy teacup,
in his night shirt, and he's rubbing his head, and he realizes, oh my God, what is my life?
I just have to do a shout out to after the Laura bed scene, and he puts her to bed, and and we think, okay, Pa's being very nice about all this, and he comes down and he's about to go to bed, and then he's like, I'm going to talk with Mr. Sprague tomorrow. Dun, dun, dun. And I'm like, yeah, Pa, get him. Yeah. But also, yes. So
yeah.
Who is 7, who at this point went for Mr. Sprague, which is the point. We're supposed to feel bad for this guy because he has ruined his own life. So.
And then we go to school, and what happens? First of all, I just want to say, lovely moment. Again, everyone's talking about homework. I did all my problems in
you're
class.
Awful.
I made problems in class. And then she's like, oh, well, perhaps you could help the other way. Mama says I mustn't. I love that. Mama says I mustn't. Who talks like this? Only Nellie. And I don't even talk like that for the rest of the show. But in early episodes, Mama says I mustn't. I really like that one. I so enjoyed that moment.
A knock at the door.
But then there's a knock at the door. The last thing we saw was Mr. Sprague reevaluating his entire existence in his Ebenezer Scrooge like cap and nightgown. It's like, oh, the ghosts of Christmas have come. We've got Marley's ghost is Laura and Pa have been the ghosts of Christmas past and future and have just slain him.
God, you are so right. I mean, that is really, that's what's happening here.
You have no friends. They busted him. What is a man without? And he, boom, knock at the door. The crate arrives and they rip it open, and it's a bazillion. It's more than $27.50. It's a billion McGuffies. It's so much money. That's where I was like, oh,
the essays of Ralph Waldo Emerson,
and
and Laura immediately knows this is.
Yeah,
and Emerson,
and she knows. Then there's the look of clarity in Laura's eyes, and she knows, and off she goes, and then they have this wonderful moment at the pond. Back at the pond.
Now listen, let's talk about this wonderful moment back at the pond for a second. You can quip. Here's my one quip. Here we go. To the director, zoom in on Laura's smile. Because, dear God, her gums and her teeth were something special as a child. Her orthodontic stepped in. Her teeth, and listen, I've had braces 3 times in my life. I had a headgear. I still have to wear a retainer at night. Oh, I had the headgear,
I remember all that.
So I am talking from experience.
These teeth here, they were
her mouth is very, very special. I don't want to zoom in on it. We don't. They did a full zoom.
But it's real. It makes it real because that's real. It's the 1800s, baby, and this is what
there was no showbiz kid in Melissa Gilbert.
The eye teeth right here, my eye teeth, they couldn't come down because I had like too many teeth or some weird thing. My teeth, and they were up here and gave the appearance of vampire fangs, and I had to have teeth ripped out and everything shoved back. Still have the mold. They do. You do the mold before and after. I have the mold of my teeth before the first retainer orthodontics of what this all actually looked like before they fixed it. I have this mold sitting on a shelf in my home, and people come over, and when they see it, they ask 2 questions. One, is this a prop from a horror film? And 2, is this your dog? That is how bad my teeth are.
The teeth are bad. I mean, there's a part of it that's endearing, but again, the zoom in was fast, and it was very, very close. But it was a very fast zoom in that was a little jarring. Sorry, MG, but it's true. Regardless, it still ends on a very, very happy tone. He finally does come over for dinner. He's enjoying the family. Baby Carrie moment being adorable and precious. Best of Baby Carrie moment.
Best of Baby Carrie moment. Oh my God.
Adorbs.
Baby Carrie.
So I love it. Laura has one of her voiceover moments. Pa got his loan. He bought his 40 acres. Ma's fish are the very best.
Badly.
Sorry. Shouldn't have gotten that loan.
Don't give him the loan.
Don't give him the loan. Well, All right.
He's got another 40 acres. This will all end badly. There will be a hailstorm.
One thing I was like,
again.
Really? Okay.
Mr. Sprague has had Mr. Sprague has had a change of heart, and he's had his Ebenezer Scrooge moment, and he is
now with the Cratchits and baby Terry is Tiny Tim. Baby Terry is Tiny Tim, and he's playing with Tiny Tim at the table. It's Scrooge, and now when Bob Cratchit's had him to dinner, and baby Carrie, God blesses everyone.
It's true. So right. You're so right.
Yeah, it's true.
But I will say, this is an episode where you feel the warmth and the love of the Ingalls household over and over again. Almost every home scene, table, they're doing their homework, they're making the dough balls. Like every scene just has that wonderful warmth of that little house with all the love in it. And I think this episode is really like the epitome of what Little House is about, right? It sums up the heart of the intent this is.
It is one of those defining episodes. And it's interesting because it's not an episode I think that people talk about
and it's not
all
one
the
that I
time.
really revisit.
But it really does have something really special thematically going for it. Really serious.
It is an overlooked episode. Have you ever had a fan come up and go, "What
Right,
I really like is
no,
the
never.
banker episode"?
Rarely, don't really hear that.
But
it's really the episode really lands big time.
But the payoff is so worth it.
Man.
It really sneaks up on you. It sneaks up on you this episode.
It takes basically 3 full acts to really get there. I mean, it's like there's this massive setup, and then Laura's heart is broken, and now in that very fast moving 4th act, which is about 10 minutes, everything really happens in that 4th act. That turns the story and teaches the lesson, and which I guess is what you sort of expect. I mean, that's what it should be, but it's a long wind up to get to that 4th act.
I now want to go back and watch
A
Christmas Carol, one of the old versions of Christmas Carol, like the 50s or the 30s one, and then watch this and go,
Hindi Brooks borrowing from some good material.
Did she go, okay, Christmas carols, Ebenezer. He's named Ebenezer. We got Tiny Tim. We got his.
Which makes
Baby
me wonder
Carrie,
whether
Tiny
it
Tim,
was
a very
episode
quick-
3, episode 9.
Quick appearance.
Right. Yeah. Makes me wonder whether it really was.
It premiered in November. I don't think it could have been episode. It could have been episode 9. Actually, it wouldn't have been episode 3 if it premiered in November. Well, it could have been 4 or 5.
Well,
I don't
no,
know,
because it would have started in September, right?
No, it could have been episode 9. Because exactly. September, October, mid-November could have been episode 9. Absolutely.
I was just wondering.
Episode 9.
Yeah.
That
no, and I
makes
was just
more
whether
sense,
this was
honestly.
close to episode, but I guess if it was around Thanksgiving time, it sort of
It's leading into the holiday season.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow, I think we just
There you go.
uncovered something
There you go.
that nobody has thought
Boy,
about this
we
episode.
meandered all through this episode.
Well, blame
and
the
like
Long
the episode
Johns.
itself, in the last 5 minutes, we've really sort of brought this together.
It's the Long Johns. Just always blame it on the Long
Long
Johns.
Johns.
All right, we'll wrap it up then. Okay.
Long Johns. Yeah, always.
Join us
Yeah.
next
All
week
right,
when
very
we
good,
hope we
everyone.
see more Long Johns. But in the meantime, visit us on our socials, Little House 50 podcast, our website, littlehouse50podcast.com. Like and subscribe, everyone. Subscribe, because if you like and subscribe, then that'll bring it more into the algorithm, and then other people will find us, and then more people will like and subscribe, and it's just a relationship we will all have together. Bob, get the wig. Let's fly. With the ghosts of Banker's past, Banker's future.
Don't run into the oak tree.
Too late.